quickly, evaluating the Dharma sincerely and reverently. So let's look at the initial verse quickly. Some people may understand inherent through suchness, but the down roots, chronic affliction, and dilute karma, ordinary people are hindrances. I'll come to that later. If we can give rise to respect and pure faith, we be reverent and careful, take joy in diligently advancing, and forever sustain this without retreating. Okay, so this is, when we listen to Dharma, obviously this is only natural for us who are unenlightened beings. And we will understand it with the power of our mind consciousness. But we must also understand that because of the mind consciousness, we will have the down roots, right? Because we are unenlightened beings, and all these afflictions will arise. So therefore, it's important for us to understand what are our hindrances. And most of the time, we do not understand. So we ordinary beings, because of our down roots and the 10 afflictions, we are ordinary beings because we had the down roots and we have these 10 afflictions, which is the 5 chronic and the 5 acute afflictions. So, but most of the time, the problem is we do not acknowledge it. We do not, what's this? We don't even know it. So the karma of sentient being is massive among Sumeru. Among Sumeru is like, as high as the highest level of heavens. So you can imagine that it's karmic seeds that we are carrying life after life. So we therefore Master always mentioned this: live harmoniously and diligently advance to forever sustain or practice without retreating. And it's important to do this and live harmoniously, because by being harmonious, especially in our relationship, and I spend every morning with you all to end with relationship. And because that relationship is the one that's going to give you affinity, that's the one that prevents you to create any more karmic seeds, negative karmic seeds, So since we have give rise to bodhicitta and to walk the bodhisattva path, we are bodhisattvas in name. Okay, I think it's important to know this. I mustn't be very kind to address you about bodhisattva, but for us, we still have a long way to go. So we must uphold respectful hearts and practice ending evil, eliminating defilement, and turning to purity and pure in our hearts and clarity in our mind. So we must focus on learning and practicing without allowing external condition to divert us and cause us to retreat and resolve. So the external condition that we face all the time, and that's the one that easily arouses because our 5 chronic afflictions and the 5 acute afflictions. So therefore, we got to watch our mind very, very carefully. So the lessons learned. People who practice in wisdom of samadhi from contemplation can be taught more profound teachings. And this is where we got to spend more time in contemplation to understand the deeper meanings. They distance themselves from foolishness as if they are living alone among mountains and streams where nothing can contaminate them. This is just a metaphor. Obviously, this is about the external part of it may be noisy, but internally you are calm and composed. So distancing ourselves from ordinary foolishness, we transcend this unenlightened state and go among people with a heart of bodhisattva while not being contaminated others. And that's just what we have to practice. That's why we need to be harmonious, we need to be tolerant, we need to be patient, we need to be perseverant. So we must be respectful towards the Dharma, earnestly practice it. So to do so, that pure faith, be reverent and careful. And so we're going to be respectful and diligent advancing. So we must earnestly persevere, right? Persevere is part of the being diligent in our practice so that we do not retreat. So in contemplation, now this is just a simple practice of reverence that I will do that the moment I wake up. I brush my teeth, freshen up, and this is the first thing I do. I will to remind me to start the day with reverence. So when you bow, know that the first bow is filled with reverence to emulate the virtues of Bodhisattva. So that my first bow is a first bow of reverence. So it's paying the respect to the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, and this to emulate their virtues, their virtues. The second bow is filled with devotion, is to signify a commitment to your vows of discipleship. And the third bow is filled with gratitude. It's for the wisdom of the path. Okay, so this to start the day with that reminder. And so same thing when we bow here in Tzu Chi with the 3 bows. So on relationship, learn from your relationship. Reverence and devotion must be undertaken with honesty and sincerity. So in our relationship, we need to have this respect. And we also need to do that with honesty and sincerity to change and transform yourself in the practice. Because the relationship as a one who is like seeing yourself in a mirror. What you see, the shortcomings in others, is what you see in the shortcoming of yourself. So we need to be honest and sincere with that, to acknowledge that. Therefore, you must continuously self-analyzing, self-knowing, and self-correcting of yourself. And so that we can change, to regularly remove your cause afflictions, as well as your dust-like delusions in the process of doing that. Okay, Gan En brothers and sisters, thank you. Well,
Gan En so much, Brother Chin. Yeah, wonderful.